Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Elite Quick Motion Rollers. What we have here are the Elite Quick Motion Rollers, which were introduced back in 2016 and more recently offered in the United States. Now, we don't have the original packaging here, as you can tell, but I'll go ahead and take these out of the box and then we'll go over the specs. The retail price on this is $569.99. It's one of their most expensive rollers, but can actually be found for cheaper online, such as Pro Bike Kit for about $430. It's a parabolic roller, which means it has a parabolic shape on the rollers, which keep you centered on the roller instead of sliding off. It has a floating design, which you can see here, and that absorbs some sudden impacts, such as jumping on the bike or doing sprints. So it makes it a lot easier to ride. It has a magnetic resistance unit with 3 different resistance levels, so you can adjust the resistance on the fly. It also has a compact foldable design, as you can see, so you can easily store it away when it's not being used. And again, no power needed, so it is compatible with smart trainers by using the little Misuro B plus sensor. That'll let you use some of the online training tools, but without that, you can simply just throw this on the ground and start using it. So here we have the rollers folded up. Folds up into 3 pieces. You have the front half, and then you have the back half. It is a little bit awkward of a package, as you have to kind of grab this little handle and carry it, but it is still heavy, so for smaller cyclists that might be an issue. As far as setting it up, it's really simple. You don't have to do any complicated calibration, any software updates. It's all kind of ready to go, no power source needed. So the first step is to unlock this, and that'll actually unhook these 2 pieces. Next, you want to set up the cables. You want to make sure they're routed to each side properly. And then you want to actually set up the width, so the length of the rollers, and that has to match your bike. So we'll go ahead and show you that. So here you can see my Specialized tarmac on the rollers at the default position. This is the narrowest width of the rollers. You can see there's no exposed frame there. Now what you'll notice is my front wheel is actually slightly ahead of the front roller. So if I do a slight forward motion, I'll actually slide off really easily. So for proper stability, you actually want this front wheel to be slightly behind the front roller. And they recommend 0.4 to 0.6 inches. So to adjust that, I'll go ahead, pop the bike off here, and we'll go do that adjustment. So now we'll go ahead and make that adjustment. You want to get the knob to the open setting here, pull up using the handles, and that'll relieve the tension. Now this is kind of one of the annoying parts of this. It takes quite a bit of force to either release this or unlock it, so for smaller cyclists that might be an issue. So to adjust the width, there's a knob underneath here. You simply adjust that, loosen it, and then you can see you can pull up or down. Here you have the measurements on here, and that's in millimeters, so depending on what measurement you take from your bike, adding the little offset, you want to get that to that right amount. You can simply pull up or down to adjust, and then again tighten that knob. For me, the 1004 millimeters was the best option. So go ahead and tighten that down underneath, and then we'll open this up again. So now with the proper length set, we'll go ahead and open up the rollers again. You want to make sure the cables are in the right spot. Really get in here and then push your weight down to unfold these. And there you go. So now we're ready to use it again, and we'll show you what the bike looks like. You want to make sure you tighten this as well. So bring that down, tighten it up, and that'll prevent the front 2 sections from folding. So now what you should be able to notice is the fact that my front wheel is slightly behind the front roller. And that means it's a lot easier to stay stable. So you really have to force it forward to get it into a unstable position. So you really want to make sure you set that up each time. And if you switch bikes, make sure you get that same measurement just for your safety. Now, because this is a non-interactive setup, the trainer won't adjust automatically. So you have to use your gears to adjust the resistance. Elite does offer 3 levels here. You have 1, 2, 3, and that just adjusts the overall resistance. So if you're looking for a harder workout, you can simply grab the knob and adjust it to the higher setting, middle setting, or the default 1. And you can see the rollers just come to a stop quicker at the higher setting. So that's one way to increase the resistance and simulate slopes. So now let's get the bike on the trainer. As you can see here, I'm using the garage wall to sort of steady myself to initially mount on there. Once you become more comfortable with mounting, it gets a lot easier, but initially it requires quite a bit of balance. So once you have your balance, you can start accelerating, and as you accelerate, you can see the bike will naturally want to balance itself. And this is something that gets easier the faster you go, so definitely want to pick up speed. What's really impressive about the roller is it has really direct feel, so it really feels like you're riding outside because both of your wheels have contact, you have your full drivetrain, and you can use the gears or the resistance level to adjust it. Now you can see just how much movement there is here, especially if we jump to the front view. And that's because every steering input or imbalance in your pedal stroke will actually cause some movement. So it's a great training tool to really improve your pedal stroke to make it smoother and even, and also improve your concentration on the bike. And with these parabolic rollers, you can see if you actually roll off all the way to the side, it'll tend to push your bike back, so it's a safer roller than the cheaper flat rollers. Overall, the riding experience is really fun. It's something that takes a little bit of a learning curve. It's not really a replacement for a Zwift or interactive trainer where you can really sit there for hours, but as a warm-up tool or as a kind of convenient portable trainer, it's a really great option, and it actually teaches you to ride better as well. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Elite Quick Motion rollers. What we like about it is that it has a floating frame design. It really helps absorb some of the vibrations and motion when you're riding the rollers, which makes it a lot more comfortable. It's also compatible with most drivetrains and bikes with a simple 3-roller design. You don't need to have specific trainer wheels or a bike. You can just put whatever you have on there, adjust the wheelbase, and ride it. And because it's a roller design, it provides a really realistic feel and experience. You're using your whole body to really balance yourself, and you get the feel of the road through all 3 rollers, so it feels like you're actually riding outside. Some of the cons for the roller is the fact that it has a premium price. It's almost the same price as some interactive wheel-on trainers and the cheaper direct drive trainers, so you have to decide what you want. This offers a lot of portability and compactness, and the fact that it doesn't need power, or do you want the interactive design. It also has a learning curve to ride comfortably. Because you're using your whole body to balance, you really have to focus, and as a result, you get a better pedal stroke as it has to be smoother. And finally, it does require a lot of force to unfold when you're initially setting it up, which might be an issue for some smaller riders. Taking everything into account would give the Quick Motion rollers an 8.5 out of 10. They're really smooth and realistic rollers. There's a bit of a learning curve, but it has really nice features that make it nice and portable and absorb some of your motion. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.